Hello everybody! Welcome back to the Coastal Conclave, and Andy, you're just too tall. There you go, sitting there, beautiful.
He's not even that tall.
He's not, just because he's not.
Is that how we're calling the show now?
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
For session 20 of the Chronicles of Amar campaign 1. Now, we'll go to our recap shortly, but last week we finished off in the Dwarven capital of Mordun as the Dwarven legions marched west to fight the Elves of the Silver Vale under the command of General Inaldra Bloodmoon.
Oh, yeah!
Also pledged support if certain things that had been reported turned out to be true by the party. She would pledge some support to assist in figuring out exactly what's coming. We interrogated the demon, learnt some information, and we left off with the party in Aaron's house. Isaiah took his leave, and I'll go quickly to the recap from our dwarven friend now. So enjoy this.
I'll talk you to that thing. I was at work. I think it's on. Oh, I think it is, yes. Hello. It's working. It is. There. Arden here. Arden Deep Forge. Some big things are afoot here in Mordun. Apparently, that adventure lot was going to be captured a pretty nasty demon. Shireen, I believe her name was. We had a few little interesting tidbits allowed about Lady Seraphine, they did. Or should we say, the Dark Lady. But about her goals. Turns out she's quite the shifty one, and has schemes within schemes wrapped in machinations. She's behind that court of Lindra, and a search for the Celestial Eye. Fortunately, she doesn't seem to have any idea where it is. That Isaiah said his goodbyes to the party, with a parting warning about trusting anyone with the Imperium. Leave him without that one. He's a decent lad, that one. Hope he finds his place before the end. Now Kithris, she's a good lass. Kept an eye on Moira when I couldn't. She has me gratitude for that. She'll help keep that Faustus out of trouble as they head south to Corlean. Beautiful place that, Corlean. Harsh but beautiful. Hard to believe that the city of creation is buried beneath the arid sands of those deserts, but let's see what they find out. I suppose I'd better get off and help them. I suppose I should give them some supplies and things. We'll see how they go. Anyway, that's all from me. I don't know how to turn this thing off. Hey! Ooh, Faustus is it? Come over here and turn this thing off. Thanks, mate.
And there we go. Thank you for listening, and thank you for that recap, Aaron. What a wonderful, handsome man you are.
Such a big dwarf.
With a beautiful voice. Did anyone think that?
Dulcet
I feel like he might have had a bit of a sore throat this year.
You mean he gets only more attractive?
So,
Totally.
So hopefully we're a little bit caught up on events from last week, because we are going to pick up with Gregory the dwarf.
He's alive.
Oh, that's me.
What's Gregory been doing?
A little boy.
A sweet little boy. So, I think, because I wasn't here the last session, so the session back, I remember Gregory was not too into the whole let's torture somebody type thing, even being a demon. So he's, I think the last the party saw of him, he was, oh, no, I'm heading back to town. Time to take care of my little ones with this beautiful helping of gold that I've got. But what you didn't see was Gregory stopping just outside the chamber to listen to what happened. Listen to the questioning that you gave that devil, the interrogation. And after that, he kind of heads back through the Underdark, back to the city, really thinking about his kind of role at the moment. You know, does he kind of like, what does he do? Like, there's things working bigger than he is at the moment. He almost let his friends die. He almost killed that poor gun guy with a healing potion. What's really for encounters? So I'd like you to picture in your mind's eye a sad dwarf slowly walking through the Underdark back to the service, dodging ogres and kobolds and goblinoids and sorts of stuff without needing to roll at all. from his silence, I'd say that's a success.
Familiar enough with the path now and dark vision, and you were away. So effectively, the moving forces appear to have sort of died down, and the current fear is that they have moved into passages beneath the city, ready to attack. So you don't come across any of those as you make your way back up and through the Hammer and Tongs and into Mordon proper.
Okay. I think old Lolliput is going to drop his Gregory disguise and head to his gear. So he's going to head to, I think was it the second level of Mordun where Araden's workshop was. So there was another kind of like disused blacksmith which he left all his kind of gear in. Prior to that, some of his keepsakes like that sexy spider glaive that he stole from, requisitioned from Sandy, the Lothenway house servant, I think in one of the previous episodes.
Yep.
And so he's going to go in there with a mission. And you know what his mission is? He's going to shed the yoke of these dark deities which have been trying to sink their claws into him once and for all.
Alright, so how is Lolliput going to go about?
He is going to take the glaive, and as he kind of picks it up, he kind of feels that like seeping darkness from Wolf. He's going to place it on the, like maybe like an anvil or something kind of, maybe like a cold forge or something like that. And he's going to take out the vial or the bottle or the remainder of the Lingiari's tonic, and he's going to pop it there next to the glaive.
Yep.
And he's going to sit down and really kind of try and tap into that network, that feeling of a Lindra, and see if he can kind of establish a connection.
Alright, so as we do that, you find yourself ensnared in a tangled web. You stand at the centre of a dimly lit chamber, surrounded by looming shadows with those webs looming off into the distance. I should mess up the music.
That sounds like webs.
I know you're here. That the webs are twisting and dancing and writhing like sinister spectres. In the distance, two figures begin to emerge from the darkness. One, just for the party at the moment. Put that in there. Spider-like creature, bulbous, dark, black and purple abdomen. 8 thick, vicious, pointed legs. As it skitters forward, you can see there's a humanoid woman's shape at the front.
Oh my god, it's
You
Dark
recognise
Souls.
this from your books and studies at home. It's Lolth, the Spider Queen. Legal get that. Let's turn that down.
Yeah,
Second.
That was the welling of fear in Lolliput's heart as he gazes upon this creature.
Second emerges from the darkness as well. A woman in golden purple robes. Her hair, a writhing image of fractal patterns with star-like glimmering, moving through, shifting, twirling. A maddening sight. As you look in her eyes, you see nothing but an empty void. Stretches forever. Elindra, the mistress of madness. The two gods face off against one another. What will you look about?
When they're facing off against each other.
Facing each other. You're standing in the middle of them. There's Lolly.
God fight.
don't want to shift over the other camera because I don't want to spoil what might be ahead. But we have Lolth the Spider Queen, much larger than the miniature that I put out on the board. Looming over you and looming over Lindra, who's roughly your size, maybe a little bit larger. You see an anger in Lolth's eyes.
At me?
Not sure. What does Lolth do?
Can I move? Am I like restrained by the webs?
No, you can move.
Oh. I'm gonna steel myself, look up at Lolth, and then across to Alindra and say, "My name is Lolliput Lothenway. Both of you," and I kind of look to Alindra, "seem to be laying claim to me right now. And I'm here to say that this will not stand. I will not serve both of you. I don't even want to serve one of you." And as I kind of stand, I like to, as I kind of say this, I like to think Lolliput's form starts to kind of like shimmer with that disguise self magic.
Yeah.
And he starts to kind of grow in size and takes on the form of Biff Hardblaster. Muscled. So for those of you who aren't aware, Biff Hardblaster looks like Lolliput. Thanks, man. Biff Hardblaster looks like Lolliput, only about 3 feet higher. Massive bodybuilder-like body, thick mustache. His like colourful cloak is like torn off at the arms, almost like a muscle cloak. And he's wearing nothing underneath. He still wears his cravat though. That's very important. He still wears his cravat. "I will not be a toy for either one of you. You have quarry with each other. You," and I kind of gesture to Lolth, "have claimed to me from birth. You," and I kind of gesture to Alindra, "have chosen to try and take subjugation on me. This will not stand." And I kind of step back to the shadows and I say, "Have it out."
Lolth wheels around towards you, her front legs slamming down on either side as her humanoid body leans in very close.
Please.
You cannot hide your true form from me, servant, child of House Lothen. Your soul belongs to me.
Mine. I don't know what deal you struck with Mother Dearest, and I flex as I do that. But it was not a deal that I struck.
Oh, this is going to be a silly stuff.
By power of... Oh, sorry.
Perhaps a second deal. I can banish this one with a flick of my wrist, weak as she is. But you must swear fealty to me.
To swear to
reign over all of the Drow again.
By the way, you say this, I have no choice in it one way or the other.
You come willingly and share in the powers that I can grant. I can show you the secrets of the weave, the very fabric of the magic that binds the cosmos together. So no one knows. Immortality could be within reach for you, but this one's influence must be purged.
Things we can agree on, like the shy size and shape of these muzzles. Well, it's too much. It's too much Biff Hardblaster.
They pale in comparison to the powers I can grant you.
Listen to me, Queen of Spiders. I may not, I will not swear to you. But one thing is damn sure. If this one, I point to Alindra, seeks to be in my soul at the same time as you, nothing will get done. As far as I see it, you have no choice but to dispel her.
Make a persuasion check. while this is happening, you feel Elindra's presence tingling in your mind as it snakes its way through that network, that neural network that you joined by drinking the strange
Oh, yeah.
Can you vet that, please? Dear.
I absolutely can. That is a natural 20.
Now, we'll get to that in a second. And as Lolth's offer is coming through, Elindra makes her counter offer. The Spider Queen seeks to enslave, not lead. Any powers she offer you will be subservience to her. I can grant you access to powers strong enough to break her influence, to set yourself up as the pinnacle of your people, below only my master himself.
And who is your master that I would then serve?
All in good time.
Oh,
So,
to make
he
it
is coming. He is coming. With the alignment, those who oppose him, including your Spider Queen, will be swept aside like the insignificant bugs that they are. Only those who stand with me and my followers will be free. And they will be rewarded. Make your choice.
Mighty Lolth. Is what this spinner of madness says true?
What has she offered you?
She offers me much the same that you have. Power, insight, yet she tells of a foe. Someone greater than her, greater than you, a master?
Cannot trust anything that the mistress of madness offers. She serves a powerful master, but pales in comparison to the gods.
I would know this master's name.
That's pretty good persuasion.
He said pretty good.
His true name I do not know, but
Aliases. Rough description.
a being from beyond, before the gods, before what you know as the gods, before myself, before Asmodeus, before Hell, before the pantheon of gods. A rival to the created mind, a being of pure darkness. But he is gone, destroyed by combined forces of all of the gods. Myself included. Banished him, never to return. She has not the power to bring him back. No one has that power.
Then, it seems I'm left without a choice, Mighty Lolth. I turn to Alinja. I gratefully accept. And I turn back to Lolth. Alindra's death. I step back. allowing them to duke it out.
You see Lolth rear up, and the stinger comes flying down and slams itself directly into the centre of Alindra's chest. And as it strikes, you take
Healing? Okay.
18 points of psychic damage.
Because it's so awesome.
And as that stinger peels in, you feel the poisonous touch of Lolth spreading through your body, and it burns into your mind, and you feel it tearing away that network that connected you to Alindra's presence.
Oh.
And then there is silence. And the image of Alindra disappears. You're left with Lolth looming above you. Remember the deal that you struck here, child of Lolthan Way.
Whoa!
I will collect.
I didn't strike no deal.
Very soon.
This is your beef. Hey, no. Turn to the agreement, Lolth. Hey, Lolth. I didn't say yes to the deal.
Skittering off along that celestial spider web,
Lolth.
slowly disappearing, and
She heard me.
slowly shimmers into non-existence. But the promise of her collection being very soon echoes in your mind as she leaves.
Nah, what?
So good. And you return back, and you are back in the other abandoned workshop on Araden's level.
Okay. So I pick up the bottle of Alindra's goop and dash it against a far wall.
Yep. Ah! See it slowly melting its way into the stonework.
I look at the glaive, the spider glaive. Is there any kind of tools, like axes, hammers, or anything like that?
There's an old hammer lying around, yeah, an old blacksmith hammer. Yeah.
I'm going to pick up that hammer and I'm going to attempt to smash the haft of the glaive.
Alright, go and try and make an attack roll. Go ahead and make an attack roll on the blade.
An attack roll on the glaive. Come on.
It's not going to be too hard because it's just a way.
Don't say that to me. Don't say that. Oh, why did you say it? It's not a nat 1. It is a 2 though. Why did you have to say that?
What do you think? It's fun for me. So the elephant raises that hand, smashes down with that blacksmith hammer, and it stops about an inch from the haft and rebounds up, barely missing Lilliput's own skull as it flies up and over the top. The glaive is unblemished.
Ah,
Lovely.
I'm really glad that nobody was here to see it. So I'm going to get my stuff, including the glaive. So I think I've got like a pack.
Yeah, there was a pack. The glaive of the Spider Queen, which you've got the details of now. What else do you have?
Is there anything else?
And a mining pick,
Mining pick? Yep, okay.
crossbow.
Crossbow.
Well, then they're not special, so we'll work out what that was.
Alright.
We will see.
So I get all that stuff and I'm going to head to Araden's workshop. I'm going to pick up breakfast for everybody on the way.
Alright, you do come across Araden's workshop, finding the rest of the group, minus Isaiah, planning their next move. Araden's just taking his leave because he's off to have a chat with the king about things around Mordun and the changes that are about to occur. And he looks and says, before I go, I forgot your friends came back and they dropped some things off for you. They're in the back room. And basically, Eleni has returned and dropped off the bag of holding.
Yeah.
And in that bag of holding was the clockwork moon. I I don't believe there are any other magical items put in there, so anything else you can think of? A couple of the Moander's
Of course.
glowing orbs and Arctic's electrified ball.
That's in my possession.
You already had that, did you? Oh, that's right, she gave it to you because no one's going to use it. That's right.
I stole that. Fair and square.
Alright. So that brings us up to being all back together.
Got the band back together.
May I
Also, I go. Go, you can go.
Oh, I can go then.
Now, you in the Lilliput form?
I'm kicking on the door of Biff Heartblaster form.
That's it.
Literally throwing breakfast burritos at everybody.
Now, Kit, I know what you're saying about the Redeemer. I just think the gods have a purpose.
I think you need to really define what a god is.
Breakfast, motherfuckers! Boom! Coming in. Breakfast burrito for you! Raw! Breakfast burrito for you! Raw! Breakfast burrito. Who are you? Breakfast burrito for you! Raw!
A salute of very lovely, hello then.
And Aradin is here.
What did you
I am
just
still
say?
here.
Breakfast burrito for you! Raw!
Grabs it out of the air. Alright, while you're doing this, I've organised. I remembered some things. I've organised for you guys to get teleported to Thungarun, the dwarf outpost in the south. It's not quite where you need to go, but it's a hell of a lot closer than here. From there, you'll have to make your own way. It'll be about probably 4 days rather than the 10 from here. But you gotta go past the Imperial Sea.
I'm still kind of like, hey, he's back.
Yes, the Lilliput has burst open.
I like that.
You guys know who Biff Heartblaster is,
This is your caster you were talking about.
Yes.
Sorry?
The caster.
Lolliput.
Yes.
Well met, Biff Lolliput Heartblaster.
This is just a thing he does, just go with it. It means his mood's improved somewhat.
He's not sulking
That's a mighty
anymore.
handshake. I can tell with these hand muscles. Aradin, and I take the glaive and I throw it on the ground. Do something with that, will you?
He takes a look at it and is like, I'll get destroyed.
Whatever.
How long
Evil
has
beast that is.
How long have you been gone?
What does it mean, like a day?
It's been a few days.
Probably 2 days because there was the 2 rests in the underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 days.
2 days.
Oh, welcome back, Lolliput. You've been
Thanks.
gone for quite a while.
Maybe you can show us your true self, given that you're meeting Kit the first time.
Lolly, Falsters, we're not there yet. I do bring grave news. I have rid myself of Lingiari's influence.
That's fantastic.
Point number 1. It's really cool.
Name of the episode. Too much Heartblaster.
Oh man.
Too much, too hard last time.
I feel like Lolliput's actually putting on that voice.
It's like me every time I did Dobby.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Stop the presses. There's something more dire than these dark gods within their celestial bastion. Yes, I come with important news. The Lindra, who has been rid from my conscience by Loth, none other, informed me that there is a power beyond them. A being that existed before the creation of the gods, that Alindra is attempting to resurface. Someone that would wipe the board clean.
Well,
So bigger than the big bad that was already pretty big.
The big bad just got bigger, and it's about to get blasted.
You said that this was bad? Well, yeah.
Did
So Lindra gone?
Gone from me. Who knows? But let me calm yourself, Falsters. You are shivering like a leaf.
I am?
Think of it like this. The world was already doomed. The world cannot get doomed more than once. We must only focus on what we can solve right now. That
I
is.
don't think it's a double jeopardy situation.
It is a thing. It's God law. What we can solve right now is saving poor helpless Lilith. And defeating my treacherous mother. You are not in agreement and I like this. Kit, you've earned my respect once again.
Aridin at this point has gone, taken the glaive,
I have that effect on people.
off to have his chat with the kid.
Thanks, Aridin, for organising the things. He's always a bit like this.
Every single morning, I wake up and I think this is going to be a better day. And so far, I have been astoundingly wrong.
Well, could be worse.
Who are you and why do I know you?
You don't know me.
This question is far more pertinent than you think.
Biff Hardblaster is my name. Defeating bad guys with my muscles is my game.
He's using this guy's he's a great actor. Very good.
His handshake was incredibly limp.
So that's just a delicate trick.
I moisturize regularly. These elf ears can hear your treacherous whispers.
I didn't say moist.
There's no treachery.
Wait, what did you say?
Limp.
That's not a term typically associated with Biff Hardblaster. Ask around. Ask around.
That's true, that's true. No, I didn't say that ever.
Is... Right, okay. And this is your caster?
I don't like labels.
He's an adventurer who is a
Unfortunately.
long-term member of our party and also the founding member of the Coterie of Heroes, the fastest-growing adventurer organization in all of Ishvadon. This is Lilliput Lefebvre. He who has been quite cranky at me for several days.
For good reason.
But yes, is the answer to your question.
Okay.
He's not my caster, I don't know him.
Well, the royal you're...
Wait, Falstus, you're a royal as well?
No, not last time I checked, no.
Kit, you're talking nonsense. Let's get this show on the road. Biff style.
Well,
We splash cut? Is
Let me
that
help
splash
you. Penny.
I can't control him. So, before we get going, I do need to stop by the archives. Kit, would you maybe like to come with me?
Yes, absolutely.
Lolliput,
I prefer Biff.
Lolliput, you two can catch up while we go grab something.
It's been 48 days in the world's celestial bastions.
Yes, but you went to the archives before.
Yes.
Have you gotten everything you need to know?
I think so. We head south. Saladin's arranged transport to Thungaroon, and we are looking for the name escaping me, Lingiari people in the southern desert. So, but it sounds as if there are worse things at play. Some new mysterious foe. Biff Hardblaster is.
Biff Hardblaster has first-hand information of big bads bigger than the previous big bads.
Let's stick to the plan and tease out what he's talking about.
Yes. Yeah. Isabel, what do you require from the archives?
Well, currently, just a map of the right now. Unless you have anything that can help.
No maps, I didn't take a map from the archive.
No, so there was... With Moira out of the city, we can't really get to the the archives would have a map. And potentially get something prepared before we leave. Or we run the chances of getting down there and trying to procure a map closer to the destination. Which is potentially likely to be far more accurate, if nothing else.
So we've got the strong sense that the Lingiari will be able to guide us and we need to go there. People know the land well in the Corlean desert.
If we
And it
find
is
them.
leaving a lot to chance. Granted, yes. They may not even want to be found.
However, if Thungaron being a dwarven stronghold, if nothing else, they are meticulous record keepers. So, with potentially a nod or maybe leaning on Moira's reputation, we could see if we can get in touch with someone there.
Absolutely.
Either way, I don't think a trip to the archives would take too long. It's worth checking there before we go, I suppose.
Sure, we can sort out the whatever it's worth. Big bad.
No, don't worry. I have many questions. I wake up properly first. I have things to process, and then we will. I believe I have many questions for you. Well,
If.
Yep.
E-I. Fifth.
Yep. Very good.
Do you know how to spell magic?
Right, so off to the archives. As we're running through, a courier runs up and says, you, what's this say? The Coterie of Heroes.
Coterie of Heroes?
I've got this package from a Tim Tam in Ishvador.
Oh, Tim Tam.
Alright.
That old salty dog.
Yes. He hands it over, you unwrap it, and it is a coin purse with 150 gold in it. And a little note from Tim Tam saying the first income from the Coterie of Heroes quest.
Well done.
First cut.
I kind of stopped the courier, silent note back to Tim Tam, telling me he's done a great job, putting a few gold coins back there as his raise, and telling me he's been promoted to lieutenant.
Stand up, go for a second, and it's running off and you see like
number one hero.
runs off.
Number?
Oh, well, Ares is always the number one of the number ones.
Yeah, but he's the number one, so he can be number one.
So you assume that Ares has been off spreading the word and handing out quests and taking percentage cuts and things like that.
We do have a pyramid scheme happening.
Yes. You have no idea how much Ares has taken off the top, but you've got 150 gold.
I'll take 145. I'll send 5 back.
Alright. You make it to the archives, and Isabel, you're after a map.
Yep.
Takes a little bit of time, they wander off and they pull out a map of Etheria. I have one of these. This one. There we are. You have a map. There we go.
Lovely.
Screenshot it, it's canon.
It is canon. We have created a map.
Oh, it's like this.
Here's a little bit of a look at map from my one.
So we were over here.
Well, I was going to have lots of scribble on it very soon. That's why my one is not laminated yet. We will update that as we go. So the one you've got there in your hand does not have any landmarks on it. But the one you're given by the archives does have a few places, the major cities of the Empire listed. And the outpost of Corlean is on the northeastern tip of the desert region that is just south of the Imperial City, which you know to be in the middle.
Awesome.
Area there.
So Isabel kind of examines the map for a moment before just rolling it up and, well, got what I needed. Be sure not to get too lost. It should work well.
I can't say I've travelled much further than the city. So
I haven't traveled much in the desert myself, but I've seen quite a few places. Okay.
Alright, so you finish up your business in Mordun and you are teleported to the dwarven outpost or dwarven stronghold of Thungaron which is known for its gold and silver mining and production of beautiful golden jewelry. Is there anything anyone would like to do in the city before we move into our travel montage?
I like to think that Faustus and Bifhard Blaster are continuing to squabble over what the priority is. Given that your priority seems to diverge from our own in our current, so we've had Dethungrum, which is south, right, towards the Corlean Desert.
Yeah, so southeast, which Matt can show you the little map.
Yeah.
You know that's near Stormwatch, which is where Videri was from.
Yeah, I imagine that Bifhard Blaster is not down. Am I wrong?
Bifhard Blaster is definitely down. Bifhard Blaster is going with the flow, but Bifhard Blaster is not engaging in Faustus on an active level.
I just don't understand why you're not speaking to me.
Bifhard Blaster has bigger things on his mind than discussing past misdeeds.
Which misdeeds do you speak of?
Bifhard Blaster would hate to remind a particular elf of when he violated his companion's mind.
Well, a certain priest of Eldith would remind you that we have only so much time and we must all work together to try to prevent a most tragic outcome here. We need to find these seals.
Biff would remind the elf that this seems to be a handy excuse for many atrocities that might befall. So maybe consent is a bigger issue than the elf is giving it credit for.
No, you've completely lost me.
So we did establish, I think in episode 2, that Lolliput actually has driving cart proficiency.
We did, yes, we did.
Can I take the reins of the cart?
Certainly can.
The only thing
I'd like to hire a cat.
Oh, I assumed. I assumed that's what we were doing.
We've teleported to this place.
Yeah, but the next part is the 10-day
Yeah.
journey that we're going
So,
through.
in a way,
Yeah.
Or
If we-
4 days, I think it was.
If I get a cart, how long will that slow me down?
your inquiries reveal that the last known location of the Lingiari people is just outside, is not too far from the outpost of Corlean, and that is a 4-day trip at a fast travel pace. So in the cart it would be 4 days.
And a cart instead of 4 days. I'm getting a cart.
But you know that the desert reaches a few hundred or 100 or so miles. And your location or the Lingiari people could be anywhere in that desert, that radius.
I'm assuming my driver proficiency extends to camels.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you just tell me. I'm looking to get some wheels.
Yeah, easy enough to get a cart. It's a mining city with shipments coming in and out. Easy enough to hire a cart.
Is it easy? Because you did make it seem like it was not going to be.
Little cart hire store in the centre middle of town. Grab one.
There's an Ada
They
set.
charge you $2. You can keep it.
I keep to keep it.
Yeah, you can have it for $2.
Oh, excellent. Can I get some decals on that for 3?
And look at you and they're like, I can sculpt some stuffing on it if you like.
Put some flames on the side.
Takes a hammer to
Goes
start hitting
faster.
it.
Isabel's right. Put some flames on that.
You can paint it on the way. I don't care what it looks like. It's yours now.
Great. And it comes with the camels or mules,
You've got to
sand
servant
servants.
buy the horses too.
Oh, what do I do?
That's why
Do you
the
have
cars are
it?
so cheap. I
I
got some mountain goats.
how many?
I got 6.
I'll have 6.
6 mountain goats.
Christ.
Right, they're pretty good goats. Now, you probably need 6 to pull this thing. So,
What's your going goat rate?
that's a great question.
If I might ask,
Goat is going to be about a horse would be a good horse, a good draft horse, like 200 gold. Goat,
It's not a draft horse.
no, it's so you're buying 6 of them. Let's say 800 gold.
800.
You can have 6 goats.
How good are these goats?
Do these goats know how to travel in a single direction?
Aye. We need them to pull some.
And on command?
Oh, no, it's done. They're goats. They're ridden by dwarves. So they're pretty stubborn.
It's less
You
likely.
look over them, you can see that some of the dwarves in the mountain goats you're talking about, they are very large goats. They are nowhere near the size of a horse.
I can tell you for certainty, I will not be giving you 800 gold for these goats.
Alright, well, how are you going to move your wagon? Because it's not my wagon anymore.
Well, I haven't given you the gold yet, so the deal ain't sold until I pass over coin. You're not being a particularly great salesman here.
Came back and you're already causing trouble.
Imperials over there, you can buy a horse off them, not horses. And they've got goats.
You know, I'm
800
trying.
gold for 6, that's a bargain.
That's not. Are you kidding me?
We could get 4 horses for that price.
I know. Isabel makes a great point.
But you're getting 6.
So what?
6 goats are better than 4 horses.
I could go down to the shops right now and buy myself a goat kebab, and it costs me a few coppers.
So that's like 0.5% of a goat itself.
Exactly.
A whole goat costs a lot more.
If you do the math,
Function can move, it's not just...
it's tasty though. It's
Bad
tasty though.
for
And this has had some processing to it. I'm just saying, I think that you were overcharging on these goats. I expect
Roll
a better
persuasion
deal.
check. Roll persuasion check.
You guys agree with me, right?
Up there.
Person in the crowd.
No, I agree. I think paying
Do you want to buy some cabbages?
anything more than 300 gold is basically highway robbery.
My
800 is
cabbages.
extortion.
Oh, 300.
Right?
You're breaking my Arctic electrified balls here. So it was a persuasion. That's a dirty 20, my friend.
600.
Still highway robbery.
100 per goat.
I didn't think in a civilized land like this you could be robbed in broad daylight.
It's just
That
unbelievable.
just looks like she's.
It's unbelievable.
Elders say this, and I walk away out cranky.
You get more for that when you sell them at the other end.
What end?
Where are you going?
How did that roll
think of-
inside on that?
Think of your eternal soul!
Okay, fine. You're going to keep the goats, or you're going to...
That's a 19.
assuming that you're buying them to get to one place.
No, I'm very curious about the resale value.
Oh, the resale value. No, probably like a 600 gold, but it's not out of the question if you're a good hustler.
Well, that's a good
They appear to be worth
That's a
the
really
money.
wishy-washy answer.
They're
for
worth
19.
the money he's suggesting selling them for. What you'll get in resale, if you're in the mountains, would probably be 600 gold. But, you know, if you go into the desert, there's probably not a lot of use for mountain goats in the desert. So you probably won't get 600 gold for it.
So you're telling me he's lying? He's straight up lying to me, please. He doesn't what?
You get the feeling that a dwarf in the mountains would pay that kind of money, but you're not going to the mountains, and you don't think that goats would be worth much in the desert.
See, Biff has just had enough of this whole
Really
thing.
why?
You know what? I don't need it. This is going to be a good time event anyway. We're just going to skip right to the thing.
So you
Takes an extra day to get there.
I just wanted to double check and clarify.
That's
So
48, right?
we're going from Thungren
Yep.
in the east
Yep.
and heading towards Corlean.
Yep.
So we're going to go past Aralar.
Yep.
In the deserts at we don't travel through a desert to get there, do we?
No, Corlean is on the
Is the desert.
northeasternmost tip of the desert. It's
Yeah.
an outpost that overlooks the desert.
So we'd expect it to be fairly civilized lands between here and there. Yeah, but post Corlean, we have to enter the desert to find Athelfai, the city of creation.
And if we don't have... We travel everywhere else. You seem to have traveled everywhere else by force. I don't need anything that requires a wagon. Why don't we just buy the horses?
There's probably another horse dealer in the city somewhere. We should buy it from this charlatan, though.
No. There's
I throw
a
a dirty look.
few words to a trade authority, perhaps.
Speak to the Prince of Mordoon, we will.
I guess more than that for it. It's got plenty of gold.
Biff, I'd expect
Love
you-
goats.
Biff,
What
I'd
prince?
expect
There's
you
no
to be
prince up there.
absolutely incensed. And look, even Isabel over there, look, I've never seen her so cranky in her life.
Have you ever had the pleasure of meeting the princess?
No.
Have you ever had the pleasure of hearing the rumours of her temper?
Yep.
Yep.
It's a dwarf.
And even then, the rumours abound when the bar is so
She's not coming
high.
down here.
I'll make her.
500 gold. You can have them. And never come back.
500.
6 goats.
6 goats.
6 goats.
Did they look like we could ride them if we had to? We don't have
It would be. They would be able to hold the weight, but it would be awkward for the taller members of the party.
Right.
Because they are capable of carrying fully armoured dwarves. We probably weigh more.
Wait, that's
but
just Falstus is the only tall member of the party.
clearance is probably going to be an issue for Falstus.
We're just gonna torture these poor goats across the desert. What's happening?
You're going to pull a wagon, so we're going to ride them.
Why do you need a wagon?
Why do we?
Well, do we need a wagon? Because Biff was like, we need a wagon.
I mean, the
The
wagon's
shape.
not the problem, it's the 2 gold. I mean, that's probably that as much as I've spent on tacos just today.
Too old.
Are you okay? Is your stomach okay?
Don't know. Ask me again in 30 minutes.
Oh, my cousin.
Constipation.
Listen, I was just trying to do something right by the party. Let's spend an extra day walking. I don't care.
Why don't you just buy horses? Notoriously less stubborn, less likely to eat our gear on the way.
Yes, let's buy it from somebody else.
Oh, no, absolutely. This.
Well, he also doesn't have.
Yes.
In terms of speed and travel, because time is the essence, I think buying horses or renting them and getting there at speed is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get out of this conversation right now. You know, I tried to kind of get a wagon going so it would actually speed things up. And so far, I've spent about 20 minutes talking about goat haggling and how it's actually keeping the same time. And if I didn't pick up the goats, it's longer. So anything to get out of goat buying would be great.
Let's just say we found something.
We all buy horses and trot off into the distance.
Right off into
You find out a horse and you realise that you've probably made the right choice because the horses, you're riding or is it for the wagon?
There's no wagon!
The wagon.
I can buy that
You
wagon.
find a horse dealer that sells you the horses for 75 gold apiece.
Excellent.
Is that including tack?
Yep, everything you need.
Fantastic.
Very basic saddles.
Isabel buys the wagon.
They'll include a little bit of feed, and you can also forage. You know, they suggest you probably forage in the southern part of the empire, but if you're going too far, you might need some bags of food. So they chuck in a couple of bags of food.
So it all worked out.
I'm going to rev my horse loudly as I go by old goat.
So you give him the side eye, and he gives a bit of a chuckle as he sees you on the horses, and he just pats his goats.
He never wanted to sell those goats anyway.
As we ride
Look at him,
down,
he loves them.
I tried to strike up another conversation with Lilliput. You mentioned finding Lilith. Do you have
Yes.
information about where she might be?
It's my understanding that she is with the it's at the Temple of Mistra or something like that. Can't remember where I've heard it.
Right. Okay. Well, we've been yet to find the actual location, so
No, I had hoped to find it in the I had hoped to find it somewhere, but I was not successful. All I know is that Biff does not leave friends behind.
I'm gonna roll insight and see if I can piece anything together from his little underslip.
Roll insight, and you can roll deception or persuasion and not tell him. And you can
What
also
passive deception is.
Oh yeah, also rolling.
So what was I rolling?
You're rolling insight. You
Insight.
can roll insight as well. I think you're
Okay. I already rolled.
You tell me.
I got a nat 20 plus 3, 23.
23.
Alright, okay. I mean, I I think a nat 20 wins, regardless of what I got, which is a 25. So I'm just going to say that. I actually think that Falsus did get that one. But I'll leave that up for the Dungeon Master to determine.
No, you tell Falsus what he reads out of your little Freudian slip.
Okay. Falsus tells I'm lying. He's like, you almost heard the Underdark there. Isabel, what did you get?
23, but not nat
You
20.
know nothing.
No, my entire backstory.
You know, an image of Gregory might flash in my mind. I might remember a slender hand, but even recognizing it's a lie, I don't really press knowing that there is a tentativeness to the relationship that I have with my once
Bosom buddy.
Yeah. I don't know if we're ever bosom buddies.
That's how Ollie thinks about it.
That was definitely off screen.
No, there was some on-screen stuff. We had some adventures. The only thing I want to do on the journey, this is Lollyfoot's thing, is every now and then his disguised self will kind of drop and it will go back to normal Lollyfoot. And it's kind of like the equivalent of somebody sucking in their gut for a really long time to take a really good picture and then going...
Yep, that happens. Is there anything Kip would like to do?
When an opportunity presents itself, so is this just for the first sort of leg of the journey, or just in general?
So first leg, and we won't necessarily go day by day.
Yeah.
But first, just that first section to call.
So anything else will wait until we're resting.
Yep.
But otherwise, Kit is going to try and sidle up to our dear Viv here.
Oh, kid, you've called me doing calisthenics.
That is fantastic. You'll have to tell me more about it, but not right now. You mentioned that you had known the touch of the Mistress of Madness.
That is correct. Sit down, kid.
I'm on my horse.
Sit. Wait, what? Okay, stay where you are then, kid.
You are an incredibly strange elf. Just so you know.
Exactly how many dark elves have you met?
One.
Maybe I'm not that strange at all.
I suppose I'm not a great yardstick, so sure. But yes, the Lady Madness. You have experience there?
Let's not beat around the bush here, kid. What do you want to know?
I want to know how you should fight.
You want to know how I got rid of her?
Yes.
How I threw off the yoke of madness?
Yes.
Let me tell you this, kid. You might have heard it from Falsus, Isabel. The history of my house of Fenway. Do you know of it?
No, I'm not. Well, if you count the fact that I've only met one other dark elf before, and well, that's in the mirror. I really have no dealings with the dark elves.
Disconnected from your heritage, I understand. Well, let me just cut to the chase. The goddess Lolth has her insipid, spidery legs deep within the house of Fenway. And this is a shocking revelation. See, Falsus, he's shocked. At least he was.
I'm currently reading my book.
Yeah, he's on it.
Also, it's okay to listen in if you need to.
I wasn't listening. I was busy reading. Good, please carry on.
Here's the thing. When you have a powerful foe, the best thing you can do is pit another powerful foe against it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, as they say. So I took the connection that the mistress forced upon me, and I pit it against the Spider Queen.
I see.
Sometimes, Kit, you just need to dig a little deeper. Use what you've got.
You know what? Strange as you are, I think that actually makes a lot of sense.
There's no need to be offensive. We're having a very civil conversation.
Oh my
It's a
god.
terrible thing.
I will start giggling.
I mean, come on. Strange.
Jay, you can hear Isabel chuckle from the front of the group.
Isabel, stop it!
I can't, like say, I've
Like
had
the Gandalf laugh.
the most common figure myself.
Listen, from the top of the conversation, I can assume that you are having your own troubles with your mistress.
You assume right. I don't know how tender a subject it is with you, so
I'm
Fresh
an
wounds.
open book, as they say. Everything is on the surface.
Just flexing on the horse.
I tell you what, Kit, I will help you with this. Together, we shall dispel this weak goddess from your mind and bring you back to yourself. Well, my name isn't Biff Lolly, but Lapalazle Hard Blaster. Love that name.
Just looking at the DM right now.
Not
You
that
guys
I
have a
was,
chat. I don't.
yeah, not that I was listening, but how exactly? do you
Ah,
purge?
Fosters.
Yeah.
Welcome to the conversation.
Yes.
Isabel, do you want to come back here as well, since we're all just listening in?
I did invite
Isabel's still at the top front of the group.
Nobody invites Fosters.
Excuse me, are you trying to gaslight me?
Gaslight you.
Party
I would need to be invited.
Do we have gas in this world? What do you speak of? Swamp gas?
Have you never seen the martial arts?
No. Marshes I've stayed away from.
It's where it comes from.
Ah.
You see, the lights, they flicker and they disappear so quickly. It's easy for one person to see them, the others not.
Interesting. Sorry, what were we saying again?
And I invited Falsus to the conversation.
Okay, alright. Fosters.
And because Kit invited me into the conversation, Kit, could you ask Biff for me, since he isn't really communicating over with me?
How long is this trip again?
Could you ask Biff how exactly it is that he managed to purge the Mistress of Madness from his being? Because the details of that so far have been quite light, and I think we'd all like to know.
Oh my god, Falstaff, stop being so passive aggressive!
Could you please recount that message? Thank you.
What he said.
Alright, I'll just tell everybody really loudly so we're all on the same page. Isabel, come back a bit, so I don't have to shout so much.
Isabel slows down the horse a little.
Alright, so there I was in a...
I'm just going to drop the disguise for a second, just so I can tell this story. Oh, that will rest my vocal cords. Now there I was, in a armory near Aridin's workshop, the glaive of the Spider Queen in my hand, the tonic of the Mistress of Madness in my other one. 2 conduits to these gods. That's right, Falstus. Gods. Plural. What do you have to say about that, Uno Godo? I place both these artifacts down, and I delve deep into myself to some dark connection. The claim that I know Lolth has placed on my soul since birth, and the taint that Lingiari has smothered into my being in the last couple of days. Tapping into this, I found myself in a dark, spidery space, something beyond this world. On one side, the Spider Queen herself in all her horrible glory. On the other hand, the Dark Lady of Madness. And what did I say to them? Well, I stood up tall, and I certainly wasn't scared at all. And I said, I will have no more of this. You two sort it out. And sort it out they did. But before, they each made a bargain
With you?
with me, or tried to. Lolth promised me power, the understanding of the weave, my heart's desire and immortality. The Lindra, she promised me more power. She promised me that very soon this master shall come and wipe the bugs clean of this world. That one who stands above all gods, the one who preceded gods, shall reclaim what's his, or something to that effect. Anyway, I said no to both, maybe a little bit later to Lolth. And Lolth dismissed Alindra, her poison seeping into my very being, eroding Alindra's taint on my mind and on my being. Keep note of that one, Kit. Lolth disappeared then, and I'm pretty sure she understood that the deal was not necessarily concluded, though there was an awkward silence there. I don't know, something to follow up on later, but there we have it. I emerged free of at least one being's taint.
Interesting. The details do somewhat matter.
I just gave you the look. What do you want to know? Come on, there's questions.
Are you in league with Lolth now?
No, I said no. She
just helped you out of the kindness of her dark spider queen heart.
She wants something. She said she has a claim and that she'll come.
What is she going to make good on that claim?
I don't know. I'm not her. Ask her yourself. You're the one with the god powers.
Speaking to Eldith, last time I checked, she's not on good terms with an ancient evil deity.
Get your people to call her people. I don't know. Let's leave it at that.
Okay, this might be a sensitive spot, but you are also drow, yes?
At some point, yes.
So, what's your take on this Spider Queen business, since she is a deity of the Dark Elves?
I have no personal experience, but any of my encounters with those who split fealties with.
No, to the best of your knowledge, the elves of the Silver Vale do not worship Lolth at all.
She's bad eggs, she's bad news.
That we can agree on, Faustus. Smash cut.
Alright, moving on. I will get someone to roll a perception check for the first night of stopping.
Do I have good perception? Yes.
Everyone just rolls perception?
Everyone can roll perception, sure.
Sorry, is that what you said? Or?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Net
1 million.
Even in the road, 10.
22.
Plus 3. Holy.
22.
Mine was rubbish.
1.
1.
Isabel has sight beyond sight. 1.
Do you have a negative?
Sorry, no, technically 3, but it was a nat 1, so...
You don't really notice anything as you travel into the evening. Isabel, looking up, you notice that the stars just don't look right. It wasn't a nat 20 at all, just 20. Okay.
No, it wasn't nat 20.
Nat 20? Alright. They are very obviously in the wrong place. And there's a strange sort of haze to the horizon. And it does not feel like this is the sky that you are used to.
You could probably see Isabel just continuously looking up and down at the sky, looking around. She feels uneasy, but doesn't say anything yet.
Isabel?
Isabel, you're quieter than normal.
Look at the sky. Does it seem off? The stars aren't in quite the right spots. That constant...
For Faustus and Lollipop, this is reminiscent of the way Videra used to speak of the stars. Being right and the sky being wrong. And now that it's pointed out, you do see something.
That constellation shouldn't be in this region.
That's bad. Right?
Perhaps our timelines are off. This could be part of the alignment. It is coming together of worlds and planes, and we might expect these things to be different. I'm sure Ark did mention this as a consequence.
I don't quite know what this means, but
Well, it means that there's one universe here, and things are starting to align. Huh. Why are you rolling your eyes at me? I think it's quite a plausible explanation.
no, I understood that part.
I just want to make sure.
Yes, I understood. Thank you for that explanation. Anyways, should we continue on? Is this...
I will have to take your word for this.
Yeah.
I
I've no
feel like
other
I'm the eternal
explanation.
bummer today.
That's all that happens. So you camp on the first night. If there's anyone specifically wants to do, you can say it now. Otherwise, we continue on.
Yep.
You eventually come into the outskirts of Corlean, and you can see that just as you come over the grasslands into a bit of a valley, beyond there's a sandstone city that is walled. It looks as though the exterior or the closest part of the city to that wall on the inside is an Imperial Legion outpost, and there's a small city built up around it. And then into the distance, all you can see are the sands of the Corlean deserts.
What, in general, would we know about Korea? So I've done a lot of travel around Etheria. I may or may not have passed through, but around, is it a well-known place?
It is the southernmost. It's not far from Arala, but you know that the desert is considered a wasteland and nothing can live there. And so there's an outpost because there are lands on the other side of the desert, and the Imperium has put an outpost there in the chance that something comes through the desert. But you know, or you're sort of the opinion that to be posted to Corlean is a punishment because nothing ever happens there, and it's blisteringly hot. And the hot desert winds and sandstorms that blow up and engulf the city. It's not really, doesn't ever really see any action, and it's basically in the middle of nowhere as far as the Empire goes. Even though it's not strictly that far from civilization, the general consensus is nothing of worth anywhere south of that.
I imagine that I'm going to be the most welcoming folk.
Maybe we could put on a good show.
They could probably use the entertainment.
Or-
They're going to try and stop us from going to the desert.
I could just approach normally and calmly without a show.
I mean, and you know you're looking for people who live in the desert, so you realistically don't even have to go into the city without want to, but
Oh, yeah.
not supplies or anything like that. So.
It might be a good idea if we change over these dressy horses for some desert camels.
Yeah, so
And certainly restocking before we go into the vast desolate wasteland.
absolutely.
Yeah, so a good thing we have a bag of holding with us. That can carry us a lot of water.
It's full of horse feed right now.
There's not like a big lake nearby.
You are
God.
a fairly long way from the nearest water source.
Is horse feed like kangaroo feed? Like is this puffweed? Because if it is, I would be eating it.
Like sticking your hand in
You
the bag
are
holding.
4 days down on feed because all footage is
You just feel like a rolled oats and molasses.
Well, that does sound pretty good.
You have rations, don't you?
But this is low in GI. Isabel, you have
Yes.
some concerns about the way we enter the city. Maybe you would like to take lead on this one.
If
Fine, I mean,
that is fine with you all, I would not mind.
Absolutely.
the one that's
A bit excited myself.
Should admit I'm a little out of my depth here, so
Woohoo!
So we're heading into the city.
Yeah, if we need,
Yep.
best to stock up.
So you approach, there are some legionnaires guarding the city, but they're sort of leaning on their heavy spears, and you can see that they're sweating under their legionary armour. They let you through easily enough. There's no sort of restrictions on travel. If anyone's silly enough to go into the desert, they don't really want to stop you, and it's your own funeral. You do find someone who's willing to part with camels in exchange for horses, but you're going to they want to charge you for the exchange. 5 gold per camel. So your horses, and there's 4 of us, 20 gold.
You have to hand over the horse feed too.
Oh, that's a good point. Can we trade them the horse feed instead of giving them 5 gold?
Make a persuasion check.
This is finally giving my pack as well.
I fail.
While this is negotiating horse feed price, I just want to look over the camels and make sure we're not buying junkets.
Write down on my hand check.
Animal handling?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Dirty 20. 17 plus 30.
What is your
All the camels that you can see they are all healthy. They look like some that could use some grooming,
They
but
look like
they're well
camels.
fed. They are well watered, and they look like they can survive for significant amount of time in the desert. None of them are unhealthy or underfed.
I love my camel. I'm going to pay the 5 gold just to not have a conversation about.
Done? Alright. We all exchange our horses over for camels?
Fine.
Alright. Is there anything else you'd like to do in town?
Supplies.
Yeah, so supplies, a change of far more desert appropriate rather than mountain appropriate
Yep.
clothes for all
You do find some light cottonish clothing, and the local shopkeep recommends buying some goggles, which he sells, funnily enough, for 5 silver pieces each. And he recommends, looks at little Biff, and well, you all look pretty well protected, but the rest of you are going to need a headscarf as well to wrap around once the winds and the sandstorms come. You want these goggles to protect your eyes.
That's a great point. I take out my pack and hand.
Oh, that won't do it all.
What?
Oh, it ain't not good enough. You need one of these.
What do you mean? I've carried this whole trip.
That'll be destroyed by that.
This is the one chance to use.
You can tell that he's just trying to.
Oh, my scarves are going to carry around.
he's like, oh no, you got to buy them for me. You can tell that he just wants to make some money out of you, as suckers going into the desert.
Oh, I can tell that?
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. He's just told you you've got a scarf and you're fine.
Wait, this
Yeah, he's
is.
like, oh, they're not good enough.
I mean, they're.
So what's your
I've looked at my bag. Look how many scarves I've got.
Hundreds of
All I
scarves.
think of now is cravats because of this whole.
Cravats.
Cravats, thank you. I've got
Cravats.
so many cravats in my bag.
Where?
No carafes. Trust me.
Yeah, and I actually have a scarf as well, but I will definitely grab goggles for myself.
Yep.
That seems
5
like a good
silver
job.
pieces for any goggles anyone would like.
goggles?
Yep.
5
There's some
silver?
cravats from Lordwoods.
Do they have any
Combat.
Lingiari water suits?
They do not, because any contact. He asks you, so when you ask this, they sort of go a bit stone cold towards you as filthy rabble, kill anyone that enters the desert.
Well, I mean, that may be the case, but you can't argue that they're fantastic survivors. I just wondered how they do it.
Probably eat them. Appear out of nowhere, kill them, off they go, leave them to
Well,
the
they
desert.
bathe in their blood, and somehow that protects them from the heat and the sun.
Maybe.
Surely you don't send that many people to their deaths.
Not many people. Sometimes traders go and they try and find things. They try and cross the desert, see what's south. But, I don't really care.
Not enough sacrifices to sustain a whole matter of tribe of
Many
people.
of them there are. No one's ever really found them. Just appear out of the sand and disappear the same way.
I mean, not even exist.
Right, these hideous beasts.
I mean, it's true to all legends.
I was hoping that they're real. That's why I was hoping they had some kind of like special equipment that we could procure.
Is there anyone who's survived one of these attacks? From? No? Just.
No one's ever come back from the desert. You've got people trying to go around it, they'd be alright, but not through the set.
Hang on, nobody's ever come back from the desert.
No one goes in there. Why would you come out there? There's nothing.
Wait, so nobody goes in or nobody comes back?
No one comes back. A couple of people go in, but they don't come back. It's only a couple of people a year, maybe. Trying to see what's south, strike their fortune. Don't know why they go to the desert, just get a dog ground.
Okay.
So it seems so silly that no one has any idea of where they are.
Oh, they move around.
This is true, I've heard they're nomadic peoples.
I mean, surely there's some sort of sighting at some point. When was the last time someone saw one?
Well,
I mean, I hate to walk straight into their arms. They're as bad as you say.
I suppose you could go ask the garrison. They probably know a bit more.
What do those garrison boys like to drink?
Soldiers, of course they do.
Where?
Where? Oh, they've got a tavern in the garrison. They don't come out much.
They've got an inn in the garrison.
Yeah.
Seems like we've got some drinking to do.
Speaking of drinking, Isabel will go buy a water supply for us. Good amount of water.
Plenty of water on hand that they will give you in fairly large water pouches.
Ooh.
You need plenty of this if you're going out there.
Mm-hmm.
What time of day is it?
It is middle of it, about midday.
I knew.
Sun's just reaching its zenith and it is very, very hot.
We also want some, like some makeshift shelters and things like that.
Yep. So you get all the supplies you need, water, some sort of long life rations and jerkies, as well as some easy to assemble and disassemble tents. For about, let's say it's about $10 you can supply.
Good thing we have plenty of funds.
Now, you do learn in the tavern with the soldiers that the Lingiari people they are nomadic, but they do have some sort of semi-permanent locations where they can be found at certain times of year, depending on the exact conditions in the desert. And the most recent sightings are about 2 or 3 days just southwest of Corlean itself.
I would like to buy a round for the boys in the garrison. I don't know if that changes anything, but how much gold will that cost me?
They're mostly just drinking ale, so we'll say 2 gold with the amount of soldiers about.
Drinks on me, boys! Biff Hardblaster, coterie of heroes.
Hey, they toast to Biff Hardblaster, coterie of heroes. Remember the name when you come back from the desert. And
What was that last?
What?
Huh?
2 days southwest, was it?
Yeah. So there'll be a small amount of nannying from Falstus, trying to get people to drink because of dehydration as we go towards the desert.
Isabel hands out the water.
it becomes apparent pretty quickly in the tavern that they spend most of their time drunk because they've been sent to the arse end of the empire. And none of them are very happy about the situation.
Well, they don't gotta do
Shoot,
anything.
This is the last chance I'm going to have to drink for a very long time, if not the very last chance.
I'll get Isabel to make an insight check.
I think they call them roads.
17.
So with your training, with your order, and having just seen all the armies emptied out of Mordun, it is a little bit suspicious that these legions have not moved. You would think that a place where nothing ever happens could probably be the first place that a legion is pulled away from. You feel like there's a little bit more to this posting than just being there, though the soldiers might not understand what that is.
Soldiers don't know, but there's something going on.
So should we leave at night and avoid the heat of the day? Travel by night?
That'd be
At least, I mean, if we're ready to go, then late afternoon to early evening as the temperature drops is probably the best way. But does anyone know about what we might encounter out there? Are there beasts that hunt specifically at night?
hope not.
You asking this in the tavern or just in general?
sitting around having
Yeah,
beers,
if,
talking it over.
basically, if we're all sort of gathered around, I'll throw the question out to the table.
Another round for the boys.
Oh, well, there's sandworms.
I love
Hideous
it.
things come up out of the sand.
God, this is doom.
Usually just straight up and eat people from beneath and slam back in.
Like
Horrible creatures. They're huge.
little huge.
All about.
Is he lying?
Some of them are like 40, 50 feet high.
Ooh.
What?
God.
Is he lying?
That's no fun.
Very, it's actually really like. They attack the city every so often, but
I fail.
they don't really get through the walls. They don't. I thought, yeah, please tell the truth. There are sandworms under the sands that we don't know what they really are. But, they're pretty big. We think that their hides are tough, so we think that the desert rats, the Lingiari, they use their hides as armor and things like that.
And how do you boys kill such beasts as that?
Oh, we don't. Well, when they attack the city, we just stand on the wall and throw spears and crossbow bolts at them and things like that. We don't really go out there. And they're more active in the night time because most of the critters are out there. And we think they hunt by like vibrations in the sand. We make lots of noise and stuff.
So we either walk in the daytime where we will die of heat, or we walk in the nighttime where we will be eaten by worms.
Well, they never said this was a safe place, so.
They mostly they don't come this far north very often. When we send patrols into bits and pieces of the desert up this way just to make sure no one's coming down because we don't go very far.
And what else? The sandworm, surely there's more than that.
The Lingiari people themselves, they're fierce warriors, they're protective of their lands. We don't know what their territories technically are, what they consider their border, what they don't. But they usually, no one ever returns. We think that Lingiari kill them, but we don't actually know. We found people torn apart. I don't think it was humans that did that. I don't think it was a worm did. They could usually eat everything. So something else in there. We don't know what it is. We don't go down there too much.
Dangerous.
Mollyfoot would like to quickly run out of the tavern, go to the nearest general store, and buy some sort of delicious sweet.
Where's this
Really
come from?
Yep. Right, you do find there's like a baker's tray of some different pastries and things. So you can choose.
That's great.
Sweet and savoury.
Awesome. I grabbed that and stuffed it in my pack, where the cravats used to be.
So we've got monsters out there. Yes, it's good to get the lay of the land. All this is we're entering into a desert where we don't exactly know where we're going, and we've never seen any of these monsters. But the heat's a killer, and so are the monsters. So it's
And so we just chance running into these people and hope they have enough information that we can survive and they don't attack first.
and discover a secret city that no one's seen in centuries, if ever it existed at all.
Honestly? We've done worse.
I mean, what else are we going to do? Alright.
Why should we get in the world? At the end of the world, with all of these fun people.
Look, I'll be very frank in that I have had enough of other people making decisions for me. At least this way, if I stride to death, I stride to death on my own feet.
Yes. Here, and I lift up my breakfast wine. It's a kid making decisions for herself. Hey!
Independence! We just hear Lollipop yelling that from outside.
Is there anything else in town people want to do?
I just like for us to kind of, when we are heading out, for Lollipop to be kind of like somewhat passed out on his camel as it's heading out of the thing.
Yep,
We still
alright.
tank it in his hand.
Easy enough. Lollipop rides out drunk on a camel into the scorching heat of the desert.
No. I didn't. No.
When we go,
Pretty good.
are we going till evening or are we going to go in the daytime?
When do we go?
I think evening.
Evening?
Evening.
I mean, we can punch a monster. We can't punch the sun.
Oh yeah, 40 or 50 foot one that hits you from below the ground. Don't know about punching it.
Still better chance for the sun.
Yeah.
Can't punch the sun.
Here
Can't punch the
comes
sun.
Punching the sun. That's a great name for a song.
Alright.
Late afternoon, at least potentially that way, once it falls dark, if we notice danger. You can always make camp for the night and then start very early before it gets too hot.
Fair enough.
This is true.
We might take our mid-session break now then, before we head off into the deserts. So we'll take about 10 minutes to set some things up, and hopefully we'll see you all again very soon after the break.
I have a perfectly fine beard.
Welcome back. Mike is just defending himself from savage facial hair attacks.
Yeah.
From those who have no facial
I'm
hair.
gonna roll to defend myself.
We work in a toxic work environment here,
Yes.
uh,
At
where
Coastal Conclave.
beards are put on blast.
Builds character though. It's fine.
I have to cry myself to sleep.
We will pick back up with the party about to enter the deserts. Do we wait till nightfall, or do we head out in the late afternoon?
Late afternoon?
Late afternoon.
Late afternoon?
Like when it's not going to cook us. Like if we're going to walk out and we're like, we're going to go back in and have beer.
You head out. It is still quite hot, but you get from the locals that within the next sort of hour or so, it will begin to cool down in the desert. And if you're going to be travelling at night, it will get very, very cold. Who is leading the way?
We no longer have someone who, well, I guess we have Biff Hardblaster who kind of looks like someone who might take
Quick
points.
over to our battle cam. Just quickly fix up cameras.
Definitely established that Biff was drunk on his camp.
I'm happy to lead the way at Isabel's pointers, given that you're the one who knows the most about these structures.
Can you see in the dark? Dark vision?
Reasonably well.
Cool.
So we've got Kid at front,
Yeah.
Isabel
Right next to.
right next to you.
And I'll be making sure Lollipop doesn't fall off his camel.
So
While he eats his back with life drunk.
you travel into the desert. It doesn't take too long before the sand sort of gives way to a harder, more solid surface. And Kit, as you step onto that more solid, barren landscape, you feel a spark of heat enter your body from the ground, shoot all its way up and burn into the wing tattoo that you have. And in your mind you hear a voice, Kithris, come quickly. I need your help. And then it's gone.
Was this the same sort of heat that I'm used to feeling with kind of a familiar connection, or is this something more malicious?
It is a similar heat, but it seems to be, it's more intense, and there's more of an urgency behind it, but it is that presence that you feel when you use your magic.
Okay.
Man, we just got here.
So you'll notice Kit sort of step foot towards it, like more stony or just hard packed?
So it's hard packed, so as you walk through, it turns into more of a reddy sort of brown colour. And it's cracked and weathered by the elements with sparse little tufts of hardy vegetation. And there's a lot of rocky outcrops that stand like sentinels against the weather. So looking more, and I'm really struggling with the words tonight, more outback style than true sand desert style. Even though now that we've got our battle cam on, it is a yellow battle max.
Okay. Kit will basically step forward, recoil back, a couple of steps, and look around. None of you heard that, right?
I don't believe so. Are you okay?
You okay? Why are we stopping?
You'll have to bear with me a moment. I think.
One more round, Barky.
Is he?
Drunk, yes.
Yep. Okay. So, Faust, you probably have the best gauge of this.
He's very drunk, yes.
No, not that. The connection I think with the demon. She's not present as such, but when I carry out her will, there is a connection, per se.
Okay.
The moment I stepped foot there, it's stronger than I've ever felt it.
I gingerly start pushing my boots on the ground when you gestured to. Nothing.
No.
I'll sort of brace myself slightly more and sort of clamber further up onto this sort of rocky outcropping.
There's nothing further.
Yep.
So you felt a connection, and was there more to it than that?
There was. I heard her. I think the first time I recall clearly, she was asking me to come quickly.
It was her, your deity, the Redeemer, her voice. It was familiar.
Yes, as familiar as a mother's voice.
Yes, okay. Well, perhaps it's probably more than we have to go off at the moment.
Did I get any sense of direction or just a call for help?
Just a call.
Yeah. She'll so kneel down for a moment, sort of press hands against the rock, and try and sort of push as much mental energy into trying to respond back.
Yeah.
With where, how.
Make a religion check.
While you're doing that, maybe we should fan out and just watch Kit's back while she.
Go ahead and make perception checks.
May I roll mine with disadvantage?
Absolutely.
So that will be an 11.
So there's nothing else going to stay.
19.
That's a fresh religion check.
17 with disadvantage. 14 plus 3.
Alright. 11. Right. Keep looking at you for stuff. Forces sees absolutely nothing.
Sand everywhere.
Lolliput, you see 4 figures in a strange creature up on the.
Oh, lovely.
It's also.
It doesn't have a head, by the way, it's deep print. And you see
If you hadn't said that, we wouldn't have known.
Yeah, it'd just be
a couple of figures. Lolliput, you see 6 things up on that rock. Isabel, you see the strange insectoid-like creature with a chitinous shell and 2 humanoids.
Are they looking at us?
You can barely make them out of the rock, even though they have clearly stepped out into the open. And you don't see it, Lolliput, but Isabel, you see that the woman motions off to the side. And Isabel, you turn around, and there is another one directly behind you guys. And even with him that close, keep your still doing your thing, it is really hard to see that he's even there because his armour is the colour of the surrounding landscape. The only thing that really identifies there's something there is the movement and the sort of shine from the metallic part of the sword. Which even the sword has a chitinous shell around it to help camouflage it into the desert sands. And he quickly puts a hand to his mouth for silence, and he points to the rocks. And he moves as quickly as you have ever seen anyone move to those rocks.
So I don't notice anything, but Isabel sees this creature basically run away.
Yep.
Did Lolliput just notice you?
No.
Okay.
You just see the people on the rocks, 6 of them.
He was very, very stealthy.
Isabel was scared shitless.
I'm still looking the other way. There's sand everywhere.
I think she's kind of audibly goes, as she turns around and sees the guy, but kind of does he want us to go towards?
You feel like that he wants you to follow this.
She'll point the guy out to them. They're not.
From gently embracing rock.
Can you make a perception check while you're touching the ground?
Oh yeah.
Follow it up.
Why is there two guys standing on that rock?
There's. You see.
So 21.
You feel vibrations in the ground while you're kneeled down, so close and
Excellent.
close.
So with a little bit of a gulp, Kit will can scramble up to her feet, and sort of spin around. The ground's moving. We need to move.
Yeah. Isabel kind of blinks at.
I can't see anything. It's
I'm going to take up my camel, old
Sorry,
Grumpy.
Mr. DM man. Do they seem hostile at all?
No.
Okay.
You can gather, based off your passive insight and understanding, that if they hadn't wanted to be seen, based off the way they're camouflaged, you would never have seen them.
Okay.
And it probably explains why the Legionnaires don't know where they are and get ambushed constantly.
Can I see the figure on the hill?
You can now.
Yes. Okay.
You pointed out by it.
Yes. Okay. I will grab whoever is closest to me, the sort of one arm each.
Yeah.
Isabel.
And start.
Isabel.
Yeah. And so what? With Isabel and.
And Lollipop there.
Lollipop.
My camel. I'm taking my camel over there.
That's fine. I'll grab the reins.
I didn't need to.
So we're going to head over.
I can drive, man. It's so good.
And so just start tugging towards.
I will get
where's everybody go? Where are you going?
everyone to make an animal handling check to see how quickly our camels can.
Do I get advantage?
Is Falsus going as well, or is Falsus
They
staying?
are.
Yeah, but I'm just coming last because I don't actually know what's going on.
17.
17, easy enough.
Come here, old Grumpy.
9.
We're going to this
I'm
rock.
slowly
Nine.
exiling dice.
Luckily, it's a camel that is used to the desert environment, and a bit of scrabbling and scrambling. You get halfway up and he slides back down a little bit, but he manages to right himself and get up.
I'm so glad you said that, DM, because I got an 8.
You just manage to clear the sand as it explodes in a shower, and a giant sandworm comes out with a roar, and you can see its gnashing teeth trying to scrape the air just behind your camel as you climb up onto the rocks. And it is now, even with you up on the rock, looming up above the group.
By Saloon, that thing is ugly, and I've seen some ugly creatures.
Isabel kind of just nudges him like,
Are we safe here? I'm sort of scrambling back up the desert sands there, trying to pull my camel away from it.
I believe so.
What is the figure doing behind us?
He is a bit further up on the rock. He doesn't look overly concerned by the sandworm, but he's sort of looking over to the rest of his people in the other rock.
And are they doing anything in particular?
Yeah, just watching.
Yep.
Two people just watching.
So Kit will continue to scramble up towards him. So, if there's anything to be known, it's a calm person in a scary situation is either your best friend or your worst enemy.
It says, quickly, onto the rocks. Cannot follow up here.
Awesome.
They're not very smart. You'll give up soon enough. It doesn't feel any vibrations.
You heard him, Chester. I'm on the rocks, mate. That's my camel that way, Chester. Any further animal handling?
Spits. Yeah. Waddles up.
Good boy.
Mine's camel number 3.
It will take time, but it can't see very well, so hopefully it'll be quiet until we.
Why are you helping us? I mean, thank you, but why are you helping us?
It's our duty. Safeguard the people that enter our lands.
We were told you're bloodthirsty and that you'd be bathing in our blood and cutting off our skin.
Shouldn't believe everything that you.
I'm not trying to insult them, I'm simply just... They're not meeting the expectations.
Discuss that later. Now we need to be quiet.
I say all that very quietly. Silly elf.
You can see that he is wearing what looks to be a insect-like exoskeleton as armor, and there is a chitinous shield, and you can see that he has some jet black goggles to protect his eyes, and every single piece of clothing that he wears is the ready yellow-brown colour of the surrounding landscape, and you can see up close now just why they appear so hard to pinpoint and locate. Even knowing where he is, it is difficult to make your eyes sort of settle on him in the background. Puts his sword away, sits down cross-legged and just waits.
Kit will take the hint and kind of make sure that now sort of Camel's out of the way, but Keith holds the reins and settle down. And at the same time, gently sort of trying not to look too obvious about it, but gently pressing a palm into the stone, trying to feel for that connection again.
Yep. After a few minutes, you see it burrow down, disappear under the sand, but still he doesn't move. It's probably safe to talk to. You can only sort of sense us when you're under sand. What brings you here? Why do you enter our lands?
We come. we come first with an offer of thanks. And I open my backpack and I take out the sweet and savoury pastries. And I gift them to him. Thank you for seeing us through your land. My name is Lollipop Way, and I'm a little bit unsteady at the moment.
Why is he more respectful when he's drunk?
He takes the pastry and sets it aside. I am Aran, of the Lingiari people.
Well, that's
He looks around the group expectantly.
I'm Faustus Delphate, priest of Eldith. Isabel.
Isabel Winterflaw. Hang on. I forgot my deity's name. What's my?
Ayun. Ayun.
Yeah, Ayun.
This one, touching the rocks and the ground. Who are you?
My name's Kithris. Of unknown title, I suppose, these days.
Fortune, perhaps.
Of Mordoon,
Have a liking to our land. Connection, it seems.
one could say that your land speaks to me in a way that I haven't encountered before.
It can do that. It can do
I
that.
hear voices in the sand.
And I am Lollipop Way. Wait,
Yes, I think you might have covered that.
Yeah.
Was your friend okay?
He will be.
Okay.
Yes?
Do not let him onto the sand.
Well,
We'll
that's
linger a bit longer, but we'll
Around-
go on soon. We'll go off in search of prey, easier prey.
Yes. Well, thank you for your assistance. We would have been certainly
Warm food.
warm food. Yes. We seek an ancient location lost to most of the, I guess I'll call it the Imperium's records at least. And we are led to believe that these ancient ruins are here in your lands. We hope that perhaps you and your people might have some information and guide us. It is a matter that is most urgent and grave.
Make an insight check for me.
I fail.
Can I make one?
Yeah.
17.
At the mention of the location and ruins, he sort of goes a bit stiff and there's a bit of a look across his face. You can't see his eyes. It's hard to read still, but he takes a moment to speak and says, You must go before the elder. She will decide your worthiness, whether or not you may travel the lands or be put out of their lands.
Put out comfortably?
Of course.
And what defines this worth?
The elders and the spirits say. The land will decide your worthiness, and the elder will speak on their behalf.
I say that's fair.
How is that fair, Isabel? We have no control over any of this.
It's their land.
So I have that almost is certainly familiar with the territory.
And it's the best chance that we have. It's why we're here.
If anything, the elders would know something.
We graciously accept your invitation and guidance.
Yes.
Of course. Alright, very well. When it is safe, we'll meet up with the others.
Are the others still on the rock over there?
They're outside.
So the older stories about. They seem fine too.
If they're not wrong, there's very little we can do about it until we find out. So I choose to believe that they're not.
Who'd you kill?
We'll never notice.
Alright, just snap this spell book in half apparently. Barely touched it. So as time passes, it does lead you eventually back onto the sand. And as you're walking, as if out of nowhere, you become surrounded by other Lingiari. And their strange insect-like creature, which this guy is actually right. He's on there. And they lead you into the desert. You arrive at your location late in the night. And you come to a small village. And you can see that it is, the weird creature goes off and is stabled. A mostly, I can't see, mostly temporary location. You can see that a few of the structures could probably a bit more permanent, but you can see how easily they can pack up and move when required, which puts truth to the rumor of them being such a nomadic people. And there's roughly about 50 adults, Lingiari people around, in various sorts of tents and coverings. And there's a small campfire going. And they lead you into a circle around an older female who has the same coloured clothing, only wears shoulder pads and a half chest plate as armour. And then she's just wearing normal, simple clothing in that same camouflage colouring of the deserts. And you can see that she is holding an old gnarled wooden staff. And Aran goes in and he sort of bows before her. He speaks in a language that no one speaks. And the elder looks up and you can see that her eyes are just a pure white. But you can see that she appears to be looking straight into your very spirit. He says, "Welcome. Welcome to our lands. Come, sit. Talk."
Lottie would like to copy the bow that the...
Make a point. See how well we can copy the bow? I thought you might know that.
That's a natural 20.
Confirmed.
You're on a roll.
I'm just going to say with a +7 on top
It
of
is
that.
somehow more formal and more correct than the bow of Aran who you have copied. And she seems very impressed with your etiquette and abilities.
Well met, Elder. I am not a Padula family.
Brings dark and fruitful desert sands. Too dark. Fix their eyes on it.
We come seeking sanctuary and more.
Sanctuary is freely given. Our caretakers of this land. We watch it, we protect it. and we guide people through it.
We seek your guidance on a matter of grave importance. Faustus, perhaps you would like to...
Yes, Elder, we seek an ancient city known in the Imperium as City of Creation, but known in older lore as the city of Athel-Faim.
Make a persuasion check. With advantage, because you've got the group and they've been asked welcome.
I don't like the pastries. We're good? Okay, yeah, right.
He seemed pretty happy with his luxury. Raising, rubbing his tummy and he's like,
What's the back?
any more of those?
Just one guy in the back with the sugar on.
So that's 18 plus, so 25.
25, beautiful. She looks up and says, she looks around. To the outside world, this is a wasteland. Rugged, barren, inhospitable. But to my people, the Lingiari, it is known as the cradle of creation. And it teems with life, both physical, she looks around at her people, and spiritual. It is the birthplace of our ancestors, and beneath its sands lie many secrets. You seek Ath-el-Faim. We call it the Dead City. For that is what resides there now, death and decay. It has taken what was once the birthplace of creation in our world. It is forbidden to go beneath the sands.
Forbidden, you say? Our path, however, takes us there, over the threshold, beneath the desert, to this very place. What makes it forbidden? What makes it so?
She raises her staff and taps it on the ground, and a young male, about no more than 20, is let out. You look at him, and you can see he's not wearing any of the armour or any of the chitinous outerwear of the rest. He's just wearing plain and simple garb. And you look at him and you can see his expression is vacant, milky white. His body is rigid and pale, extremely so when you look around and you can see the dark skin tones of the rest of the people. Sometimes the young gather the courage to enter, and this is what returns, if anything at all. An empty shell, nothing. They will eat, they will sleep, that is all. They must be forced to do those things too. There is nothing left. Spirit is gone.
This affliction, it happens from proximity to the city. Do they come into contact with something? Is the air foul? Is corruption?
Our best guess is that there is something down there that does this. It takes the very spirit from our people. It is the antithesis of what our people believe.
Yes. Do you have stories or legends of such a creature or being, perhaps? Regardless of the dangers, and I look at Isabel and Lilliput and Kit, our path takes us here, and we will face it, whether this be the outcome gesturing to the thrall of a being that's there.
What do you know of this Ath-el-Faim?
No, it's the city of creation. That's how it is referred to in the ancient texts. And
Created by who? What? Do you know?
we do not.
We know regrettably little, only that we must go there. Our paths are startlingly clear in some respects and awfully vague in others.
Yes, faith itself is what guides us through those dark patches.
She looks around and you can see now that the majority of the tribe have taken seats sit cross-legged with their eyes fixated on the elder. What you seek is more than a city. It was where the creator god, Al-Fa'im, banished Vorathos, the primordial void, from existence.
Banished what, sorry?
Vorathos, the primordial void.
What does that mean, Elder?
They were, but they are ancient beings, more powerful than your imperial gods. Here long before them, their creators and the creators of life. Their eternal struggle ended in the city of Ath-Alpha. It sundered our world and left this scar which looks around the desert. It was my people's job to cultivate and protect this land, but also to try and cover what was lost. Al-Fa'im was the creator deity, creator being. Vorathos was his antithesis.
Elder, may I ask, do the legends speak of Vorathos' return?
We have no such legends, but a being of such power, it is possible to return. He is a formless entity, shrouded in swirling shadows and boundless darkness.
One who sits above the gods,
Yes.
and who would have the power to wipe the board clean.
The powers of your gods were derived from these two beings, for good or for evil. Al-Fa'im brought life into the world, Vorathos brought death. It seeks to unravel the fabric of existence and return us all to the formless abyss of the void.
Given this, you would, as this is the cradle of creation, and if what you're saying is, and we have no reason to believe it to be not true, if you are saying that this Al-Fa'im is the creator of the gods we now come to worship, would it be possible that in Al-Fa'im there would be a temple to Nistra, Moradin, than the gods that we now know? We seek some...
She lets out a sort of ironic chuckle. Indeed, it is likely. In fact, it is where the gods themselves betrayed their creators and one another.
The gods betrayed who?
Their creators.
Al-Fa'im Morphos. I've never heard of these stories, and I've read
Well,
many times.
what is the saying? The victors write the histories.
Because, if you don't mind me asking, I know that your tales run deep into your history via, I apologize, I'm still struggling to find the words to describe it myself. I guess to ask plainly, do your histories speak of the ones that, at least those I know, called the Redeemer?
She fixes her eyes on you, and she says to you, I see with more than eyes, child of redemption. What would you have me know?
Oh, I seek to know anything I can. Honestly, I'm somewhat, I suppose, twice orphaned. I know not one mother than another. So anything that brings me closer.
Many of the answers that you seek lie in the city of the world. It is where the Redeemer made her final stand, where the gods of the Empire imprisoned their peers, defeated their creators, and sundered our world. What is it that the rest of you seek in the wilderness?
I seek friendship.
I seek knowledge.
Seek a means to end the coming conflict. We must be practical.
There is knowledge there.
Woo!
Much of it forbidden, much of it forgotten.
I
The
love
truth of our world, you might find.
Hmm.
There are weapons there, ancient weapons, ancient powers, good and evil. Friendship. Well, you might find that along the way as well. We offer you friendship.
That's not a no. That's not a no.
Faustus up the back,
The
trying to
spirits of our people offer you friendship.
And I will graciously accept. The Lingiari and Lolliput together. Love it. Have I told you about the coterie of heroes?
No. Perhaps it is a story for another time.
It's not a no either.
We know this. We know the stories that the Empyrean told us. None of them are true. We are caretakers of this.
It sounds to me they would be invited back.
Especially the pizza ones.
I like this. I like where this is going. This is my camel, by the way, Chester.
Fine name. Fine.
He's a good boy. Is he
He
spit?
got you this far without getting eaten.
Right.
He does spit.
Yes!
He does.
Good boy. You daddy's boy.
We prefer our own mounts. She looks off, and you know, in the general direction of where the insectoid creatures are stable.
Oh, is he? Oh, they're cute.
They are curious things.
That's right. They've been around as long as we have. But our people have grown close with their kind.
Can I pet your dog?
It's a cute dog. He might bite your hand.
No.
They are
A
companions. They
small
are
price
mounts.
to pay.
They are warriors. They seem to have a sense when the worms are around, so they're a very good warning system as well.
Kit is like
Can't pet that dog.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet the puppy?
Perhaps we can introduce you to them in
Yes.
the light of the day.
I would love that.
There are two specific artifacts that we seek here. They are believed to be seals, which keep at bay a great evil, a being known as Ogorath. And they are believed to be in one of these items is believed to be in the Temple of Mystra, which we thought was in the north in the Underdark, and we were wrong. And we believe perhaps a temple to Mystra exists here, where we might find this artifact. Do you many people know of the Eye of Mystra?
We have knowledge of this eye that you speak of. Do you know?
We would have shared thus far, which is the artifact, I believe, grants sight. And further, this is the truth of the matter, we do not seek the artifact for personal enrichment, simply to bring an end to the machinations of the cult of Lingiari.
It grants the sight of Mistra, indeed. Do you know how it came into being?
Not, though I care only for its destruction.
I believe I saw it forged.
Is the literal eye of a god torn from her body by Tempest himself, or so the legends say.
It was made in the city, wasn't it?
Our legends say, made by Morgan.
Not too long ago, I thought it was a dream at the time, but as these things turn out, perhaps not. But I believe I saw it being forged. Sulfur and acrid smells on the air, and the eyes calling.
It was a foul thing, our histories say, how it was created. A powerful entity, obviously, has given you this vision. For better or for worse. We do not know its purpose. But if we believe, our legends say it still lies in the city of ruins.
Something at least.
Yes, the strongest sleep we've had since we saw those glowing runes. Hopefully this is the actual path.
How far away is this city?
From here, 5 days of
So, just trying to do some rough math. It was 48 days, we teleported, and it was 4 days by horse.
You're on 44.
Yep. And it's 5 days.
If the Zeke take to you, you could get there in 2 days.
The Zeke?
Big creatures?
Yes.
Oh, your dogs. Oh, yeah, that sounds great.
Haran knows the way. Dogs. He's our most gifted tracker and scout. He will lead you. He
Wow.
will not enter.
But we wouldn't ask anyone to take the risk aside from ourselves. Any assistance that you're willing to grant us would be amazing.
It is dangerous to travel in the heat of the day.
It's dangerous to go
We
alone.
leave at nightfall tomorrow. So Zeke will protect you from the worms. They know their migration patterns. They can sense when they are near. Pay attention to them, and do not fall victim. Do not find yourself in the belly of the wolves.
Elder, can I ask one more favour of you? You've already given us so much, but I ask one more boon. Not for myself, you understand.
Oh no.
Not for me. And if you say no, I understand, but I must ask it of you anyway. When we go, will you take care of my good boy here? I run kind of chest up.
We will see your camel safely to the end.
I legitimately.
You may stay if he takes to the life in the desert.
I thought you were going to pitch the coterie of heroes.
I have a
And
proposition
you all
for
feel
you.
bad now as well. Because I'm the only one who's looking out for my camel. That's right.
Well, some of us are going out for a
So I can make some
civilization.
little
That's-
terrain changes.
Can I ask the other? Has there been anybody else in the area of late searching or seeking a similar location to us?
There has been no one through this part of the desert, but a small party was sighted in the south, certainly, coming from the south.
How big was that hat?
She looks over to Iran, who's their main scout, and he said, had a large hat, certainly. Yeah, sure.
I take on the form of Lilith. I wear Nova's hat. It'll look kind of like this.
I didn't get too close. I sensed danger. That's a natural 20.
That does tend to happen with Lilith.
Yes, that appears to be the individual that was with this group, yes.
Got it.
You think it's Lilith?
Your friend.
It could be just. I mean, it's a desert. People would wear hats. I don't know why we didn't pick up any.
I mean,
You look around and all with their heads.
False just, you can put your head in the sand if you want. We're looking for Lilith. You've seen somebody with a hat this big. And do you think it's real?
No, we lost that on the way out.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a small world after all.
You can say that again.
Smash cut.
Smash cut!
With that, we will do a little shifty shift there. Put Andrew's correct nameplate on. Is there anything else you would like while I'm just sorting out
Do they
terrain?
gift us any of their Fremen-like suits for living in the desert?
They do not, because they inform you that to wear the hide of the Zeke, you must have bonded with a Zeke, and once it dies, you then inherit its character.
Oh, that's too sad.
And time-consuming.
Mostly sad, right?
That too.
I'll be doing my best to bond with one anyway. You know.
Can I put that bar?
For the sake of experience, is there anything specific anyone would like to do while they're in the village?
Pat that dog.
You are.
Yeah, I want to make animal handling checks to see how it goes.
Yes! I failed miserably with a...
Isabel is not petting.
You do not pat that dog.
Woo!
It's a 19. What'd you get?
Well, if it's a natural, the Zeke takes to you easily, allows you to approach, you give it a good scritch,
Ooh, aren't you
it enjoys its back, little needle-like foot starts to flick, it nuzzles and allows you to mount.
Can I,
There are unfortunately no saddles on these things, and you have to sit on the hard carrots.
I'll deal with it. I would also like to use my successful roll to give Kit advantage because I know it meant a lot to pat that dog.
Kit needs all the help she can get.
They don't like you.
Sorry.
Don't like it.
Oh no, Kit, back away, slowly. Don't make eye contact.
I'm sorry, I'm just excited.
You're okay there.
I'm getting a hippogriff kind of vibes. The requisite amount.
How'd you get?
I didn't roll. I'm not doing.
You're not going on one?
Oh, I thought we
This
were
is how well
petting. I thought
they
we
take
were
you for
sorry.
mounting in the desert.
Thought we were
Go
petting.
for it. Nice.
Isabel's gonna take her camel.
You take the camel?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
That was a massive one.
the camel will slow us down, but it's clear that the Zeke do not like your friend. So,
I got a 2, so I imagine it's going to be a bit of a frosty relationship with my Zeke.
It'll be an interesting ride. Very uncomfortable.
That's okay.
Keep trying to throw me off all the time.
Isabel's a bit nervous about the Zeke.
Come back. Camera now. I've got a few things set up.
Zilliput and Lilliput.
No.
The best of friends.
Kit's going to be relying
That's
as
gonna
much
die.
on old habits as possible, and gathering all the information on how to make them love her.
So you spend the next day around the village, going to leave at nightfall, and you notice over the course of the day that there is a strange shape, quite small, shadowing in the sky.
Oh, yeah, I
Anyone
forgot
like
to
make a
mention the
perception
stars.
check?
I probably won't because I would be thinking about it.
17.
17.
Kid fails.
Looking up, it's whatever it is. It's a long way away. But you could swear that there is another moon in the daytime sky that should not be there.
Oh.
It's barely the size of a fingernail when you hold your hand up to look, but there is something there.
You're being mooned.
As we're sort of, passing time in the village and things, the only thing I'd be doing is I'd be having as many conversations as I can with people, so like just recording it in my notebook.
Yep.
And just trying to understand sort of more about them.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing specific, but just like soaking in the knowledge so that later I know more about these people.
Yep. Excellent. All right. Anyone else like to do anything?
Is it a calm ride when we're sort of on these things, or is it more of a like hellish bumpy?
It is very bumpy, very bouncy, and they have a very, very hard carapace, and you can see very quickly why the Lingiari people use their armour, or their carapaces for armour after they pass, because it feels as though it would be nigh impenetrable, or very difficult to break through. And it is a very, very uncomfortable ride. And anyone who rolled below a 12 on their animal handling does have some serious chafing and some raw buttocks.
So, do our lovely masculine members of the party take a disadvantage for the next day?
We might lose some movement speed.
Or very strangely for a while.
So the first night you travel fairly uneventfully. Aran stops you a couple of times and you sort of see shifting in the sand that would indicate sandworms, but you go through safely. As you progress further into the desert, because Isabel is on the camel, it's a little bit slower than the Zeke can go, but you do start to see some ruins sticking up out of the sand. And roughly, sort of late the night before you arrive, or around tells you you're going to arrive at your destination, you can see elements of what might have once been a tremendous city. And then about 2 hours into that fourth or the third night, so 2 and a bit nights, bringing us down to here, you do see the sand has covered the majority of it over the centuries, but there are pillars and strewn stonework across the sand. And you do see a very strange archway leading into darkness, and there are a series of footprints in the sand leading down into that. So anyone who would like to can make a survival check and see whether they can identify those footprints.
I seem playing strong, but I'm invested in finding Lilith.
Yeah.
22.
22.
It was a nat 20.
Nat 20.
Yeah.
I got a 16, so
16?
I don't want to step on that nat 20 though.
I got 14. Yeah.
You guys,
Team 14.
they're humanoid, one of them is pretty small. Isabel, you identify 4 separate sets of footprints. One is quite a small set that you feel like belong to like a halfling or a gnome or something of that size. And the rest are 2 of them are slightly bigger than human size. There's one sort of clawed footprint, which you identify as probably belonging to some sort of dragonkin. And there is a set of what looks like a sort of minimal imprint human-sized footprint.
Do they look fresh?
It's hard to tell, but because of the conditions in the desert, you can assume, or you make the assumption that it's within the last day or so, because it would likely have been completely covered up by the winds of the desert and the sands of the desert. Possibly even fresher because the desert does cover the water very quickly.
So if one of those is Lilith, who is Lilith traveling with?
I'm not sure. It seems a lot of people.
It's a bit friendly.
Or at least ambivalent? I'll take that.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yes. She's not openly hostile, but if they're traveling with Lilith, one can never know.
So you keep on speaking of Lilith as a friend, but then emphasizing just how much you're not entirely sure she's going to try and kill us when we get there.
You haven't told her properly about love?
That is Lilith. She's
Shit.
give or take.
You can fill her in.
I mean, Isabel had the right of it. So, there's a good chance in the next 24 hours you'll meet both. What you need to know is you need to secure your possessions, especially your blood.
Do not accept any challenges from her.
No, yeah, that's right, no challenges.
She's a
If you want to play
fighter.
hide the knife, if she asks to play hide the knife, do not play hide the knife. Hide the knife is not a game you want to play. Oh god, no, it's not a game you want to play.
But, and this is your friend.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
great.
absolutely.
Oh, she's great. She's great. She's got some really funny jokes.
It's complicated. She's got, I mean, she's double princess, and
Sorry?
part fae. I'm quite sure of this.
She's kleptomaniac as well.
Yes,
Is that-
that's right. Strap everything down. Like, literally, if you cherish anything, because they keep it
Just
strapped down.
shelf it.
She's well
Isabel kind of leans closer to Kit, like, if you think Lolly puts a handful,
which she is.
I'd put Lilith at about.
It's not a handful, it's just confusing.
Are you
Just
sure?
Double the lolly put in, multiply it by 7, and you might get somewhere.
Listen,
Well,
we're
you're lucky.
all our own people here. Let's not go doubling or multiplying anybody unnecessarily. Have we eaten up enough time?
Indeed we have.
Can I at least have your assurances that when we meet her, you assure her that I am in fact with you?
Absolutely.
That's...
Does that matter?
Well,
I hope so.
with her.
We will do so, right, Isabel?
Yeah.
After that, though, we don't really know where that goes.
Don't give her any blood.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Blood.
This is
Keep your blood to
serious.
yourself.
Try to.
Do not let her take any blood. Kid, I'm
Yep.
being serious right now.
I get that. I absolutely do.
It needs a commitment
I-
from you.
I will not try to intentionally give anyone my blood, and I swear that.
You're off to a great
That's good.
start.
That's good.
Well said.
Yeah.
Second.
The fact that needs to be said is not doing wonders to my confidence in this situation.
He's a little. By God's whatever you do, don't read a mind. Holy jeez, wow.
Who wants to talk?
What are you talking about?
Alright, what are we doing? We're at the edge, the precipice of going into the darkness. And it is blindingly dark because you're coming out of the evening time outside, but it is still, you have still been travelling through a desert.
I'm imagining it's like a blacker than black hole. And
Void of emptiness.
Void zone.
I'll do my standard
Just
play,
a
which is
curve
to
of
find
yellow.
any sort of rock or thing on the ground nearby.
Yep, easy enough to do. There's some rubble about.
And I will cast light on it and I will toss it inside.
It's just good.
As you toss it in,
Yeah.
it lands near what looks to be a crumbled statue. And you can see that there's some sort of angelic carving from your thing. So
Do I
figure out exactly what it is. It's in, there's like a small staircase and there's a landing about 10 feet down. You can see that there's a toppled statue on that landing.
Why is there nice signposts and just things saying, wonderful things, sort of warm beds this way. Darkness and old statues everywhere you go.
Walking up towards it, do I recognize it at all?
You do. It has similarities to the tattoo you have on your chest, but it's not quite the same. It's just far more human-based than angelic. It's more like it's a humanoid person with wings rather than a divine creature in the statue. And just on the very edge of that light that Faustus has created, you can see what looks to be the pale, blistering flesh of something lying on the ground.
Love.
So something's been here.
Yeah.
We've got dark vision, actually.
Yeah.
So, you do make out some form of deformed creature. Looks as if it has been dead a very long time, but by dead, it is a zombie of some sort. Not identified as an undead creature. Recently killed by the look of the
Okay, so
black oozing.
putrefied, not dried.
Yes.
Wait, did you say black?
Black
Oozing.
blood. Oozing blood.
So it's like
From
ears
what
and
look to
eyes?
be fairly recent wounds.
Was undead, now just dead.
Yes.
Was dead, then undead, now just dead.
It's a dead undead.
It's the dead
Die of final dead.
Re-dead.
Has it been?
It's dead. Final dead. Final destination.
And as
Constituted.
seeing this, and as your eyes adjust from being outside, you, Kit and Lolliput, you do see other corpses strewn along a passageway, similarly of undead creatures.
Can I check them for knife wounds?
You can make a medicine check for me.
Yeah, just try to kill him.
That
Already
is
over
a
there.
dirty 20, 19 plus
Get
1.
in and deal shit.
It
I
has
saw something
been
put down.
sliced and diced by a variety of weapons. You can identify axe marks, there are some arrows, and as well as some piercing, slashing wounds that look like they have come from the swords.
So something I would probably attribute to Lilith.
Possibly.
Yeah. Okay, so seems we've got a couple of wounds here. I kind of put my finger in one of them. It might be Lilith's stuff. A couple of axes, and what was the other one? You say swords?
Sword.
Yeah. So plethora of weapons we have here. Yeah, looks like Lilith is working with this other party, not necessarily being dragged along. That's my astute observation.
And Kit, you feel a sort of pulling as if something is dragging you downwards from the tattoo. It's not burning or anything like that, you just feel a strange pulling downwards.
It looks like someone carved their way through here not too long ago, at least. This is definitely. If anything else is the way we need to go.
Yes, and enemies of zombies, I mean, perhaps they're friendly.
I mean, I think everything is made of a zombie
Well,
That's right. Except if you're the person who was animated.
or another zombie.
it's a fair point. Either way, we feel like we need to push forwards.
Indeed.
Let's go. Zeri, you wait here. Sit. Sit. Goodbye.
May I attempt to pat him gently before we leave?
I like it
Sure.
last time.
Make animal handling checks to see how long they will stay for.
Isabel parks her camels.
And you lose an arm.
Okay. As you progress through the ruins, the angelic statue theme continues. And you can see that most of them have been defaced, but the statue progresses from that humanoid, and as you progress through after about an hour or so, it is clearly evolved into some sort of celestial creature. And we'll get you to make a religion check with advantage for me.
It's just pity at this point in time.
It's related to your
Yeah.
faith. So.
It plays.
Yeah.
Pity advantage.
You see, Foster's, I don't understand, because given the timeline that we know of, it's, I'm definitely not trying to just find my stats at the moment.
It makes sense to me. I mean, I want to believe the other, and she seems to be true, but I cannot reconcile the idea that Eldith would have been part of some kind of overthrowing of some greater old god.
Yeah, but
Does it make sense?
yes, that
This
also.
makes sense.
So think of it. If she was here for the final battle and she rose up, then what time was there to create statues of her? Why is she carved here? That's the question.
It's a human.
You feel like maybe it's the same being slowly evolving into something, but you're not sure.
Can I?
No
Yes,
fucking idea. She also does not know.
Lots of angels about.
Yep.
Maybe
Made
they
of
live
stuff.
here, maybe
It's-
someone was
Those statues.
obsessed with it.
It all seems to
Maybe
find.
some bird people lived here.
But there is a pattern though where the statues were human and they're becoming more divine as we travel through. So that much we know.
Yeah, and it
Parents,
feels
what
familiar.
do
It
for
feels
parents
like
to
it
watch
should be
10
her. But I can't make sense of it. It's how long did she fight to have this level of worship here? It just doesn't.
Perhaps they were built after. This place is a mystery to most. Thought, legend only.
Fair. There's nothing we can say until we find out more. Either way, there's just something here that we need to get to.
Yes,
I know that much. Lilith aside, as charming as you make that encounter seem.
As you progress through, you do start to hear the sounds of fighting up ahead. You hear the clashing of swords and the ringing of metal, grunts, strange screeches and strange sort of skittering and dragging sound.
Sounds like Lilith is having a good time.
That is.
Are you following the sounds?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the trail of.
I
presumably
apologise,
dead
Andrew,
dogs.
that it's taken this long to get here.
It's okay.
It was always
We'd love to do like a whole series of traps and things for everyone.
It's after
We wanted to
this.
get things caught up.
Yeah, I reckon we'll get there.
You
in about
do
3
find
minutes.
yourselves in a large hallway
Oh no, we got.
set of stairs that appear to lead up to an altar, and you can see, or those with dark vision can see, that there is some sort of battle happening up ahead. From what you can see coming from, I'll assume we're going to take that normal path that you do. Up on the raised platform within the temple-like structure, you can see a bugbear, or two bugbears.
No one bugbear.
One bugbear, one orc. One bugbear, one orc, fighting some kind of huge undead creature with pale white skin. And you can see a couple of other zombie-like things shuffling towards the battle as well.
Oh yeah.
And if Andrew has his booklet and wants to recite one of Gordon's poems, they might also hit something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, its wings were black as night, its eyes through orbs shining with fright. It's perched upon my blade, a sense of delight, and whispered tales that chill my soul with their might.
So you hear Lillo's voice echoing down as she engages in combat as well.
Isabel looks knowingly up.
That's definitely Lilith. I'd recognize that crazy carnival incantation anywhere. Well, we should help her. Let's go.
Which of these are friend and which are foe? The undead are.
Lilith's a
Foe.
friend. We know nothing else.
Okay. Fantastic. And so, despite the doubt it raised last time, now it feels like almost the appropriate replacement of what used to be Kit's battered lamp gets unwound from
Yep.
where it lies.
You can go ahead and describe that if you like.
So, what you all would have seen before was basically a dwarven lamp that was kind of almost like tinkered together with the sides closed off. Whereas this resembles it in sort of form and function, but is sort of taken to that next step of craftsmanship and polish in almost every way. It's almost like she was holding a terrible kind of mockery of it before. So as she sort of unravels it and takes the cloth off the top, so this is like a polished bronze version of it with instead of the plates being completely blocked out over where the light would spill out, tiny holes sort of in the form of sort of small sigils and shapes, sort of cover the entire thing.
This is the gift that Aradin gave you, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And as you unravel it, it is glowing. A golden hue as well.
Because you can't see, did you pick up my glowing stone?
Did I?
I don't know, I'm asking.
Yes. Let's go with that.
Yes.
Yes, she did.
Now, I'm mindful of the time, which is now almost 10 o'clock. Would we like to stop here and pick up from our reunion with Lilith next session?
As long as we can yell things out at Lilith.
Yeah.
You can yell some stuff out if you want.
We're coming, Lilith!
Hi there, Lilith!
Lilith's like, see you guys right down, and I was like, ah! Like fall over, mid like pirouette.
I feel she's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
She's like, oh shit.
I've got so much to tell you about Falstars!
Don't talk. What are you talking to her anyway?
Someone's scared.
We made new friends! Is this the part where Lilith like turns and like directs the monsters and says, kill them.
Destroy them.
Kill them all.
Dude.
Wipe them out. All of them.
Right, so we'll end it there.
And she just turns
Pick
around
up
and just like,
next
a bit like,
See what Lilith has been up to. Whether she's still friendly or not. Whether her companions are friendly.
How is she still friendly?
Friendly.
She's up when.
Lilith is a literal walking red flag.
Thank you to Andrew for sitting around for 3 hours and not actually getting to do anything. Sorry.
so
Andrew.
anyway,
That's not true. He recited poetry and
Fight
slapped a
some
bunch of
humpback.
zombies.
yes,
I didn't think we were going to haggle over the price of mountain goats.
Yeah, that went for a lot longer than it needed to.
I know you were trying to hurry it on, but I want you to know that you're to blame for all of that.
It's the only one I wanted to. Well, we wanted to go quicker, but for some reason it wouldn't. So.
My whole goal was like, get us there quicker.
And so I started haggling with the dwarf.
That's 800 gold! What do you want from me?
Why do you need a car? You have 50
You want
bucks.
What do you know? Driving proficiency.
Thank you for joining us. We will go out there. Hopefully, thank you for joining us again. We'll hopefully see you next week for session 21.
With
The return of Lilith.
The big L's are back.
Oh, wait. Session 21, we can drink.
In America.
International even.